Hi, Sarah.
Hello, how are you?
Good. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah,
Awesome.
great.
We're going to get started. Mike's coming on any second.
Okay, sounds good.
Did you get that Google Drive stuff? Because I couldn't make your own drive. You have to make your own drive.
Yeah, I did. I got it. Thank you
Great.
very much.
You're welcome. Mike,
Hello.
how are you?
Very good. How are you?
Good. We're going to go ahead and get started. So if everybody could mute themselves, we'll have some time to answer questions, but let's go ahead and get right to it because I've been looking forward to this for weeks.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay. I'll introduce myself. So hey, everybody. My name is Karen Prawl. I am a operating partner, general manager, and team leader in the Naperville, Illinois, Glen Ellen, Downers Grove, western suburbs of Chicago. And I had the pleasure to meet Mike McCann at an event recently, and of course saw him on stage at Family Reunion, run out like a ball of energy, and have not stopped watching since. So there was an announcement in January that you had with Gary that you had decided to join forces and partner with KW. So I love your energy. I love your longevity. I have massive respect for you and your team. And so thank you for taking the time to do this. So let's get started. So if you can tell us a little bit about yourself.
Hi, everybody. I am Mike McCann, the real estate man, and I love this business. So I've been doing it 33 years, and I don't want to boast, please, but I have been the top agent in Philly since 1988, and I was with a small company, and then I went to Prudential, which then became Berkshire for 27 years, and I've been the top agent. And first it was individually, and then as a team. And the last several years, we've been doing about 365 million, about 750, 800 transactions. Even in the down market, I was doing 650. I have 6 full-time administrative assistants, and I have 17 agents on my team. I'm a listing specialist. I am in the field. So I'm out on the street. That's what I love to do. But I joined Keller Williams in January 21st of this year. And do you want me to go on? Should I tell you that, or we going on rambling too long?
And you were, so let's go back a little bit. You've been in the business 33 years, 3 decades.
Yes.
That's, it's a high fallout rate for agents, and to stay at the top of your game, well done. Yet, and you weren't unhappy at your current company, right? You were trucking along, doing well, but you weren't really unhappy. You just didn't know what was next. Or can you share a little bit about that decision?
Sure. No, I love my company. I love my team. I build for life. So my team, one thing, I had my first buyer's agent in 96. I have people with me for a long time. Assistants, 22 years, 17 years, 15 years. I build for life. I'm a company guy. I'm a team player. So I love my current company. And there have been many opportunities when we really started to take off in 2000, 2005, to go to other companies, to open my own company, to partner, all kinds of stuff. I said, there's no need to do that. We're doing incredible. We're the number one. We started to become number one in the nation for, it's not Berkshire, it was Prudential at the time. It's Berkshire now. The number one for the last 20 years in the country for Berkshire Hathaway. I'm like, why do I have to leave? I love my family. It's a great company. And in 2005, I started to see people start to go to Keller a little bit nationally. And then I'm like, that's okay. In 2007, 2008, I saw more and more. But in the last 5 or 6 years, I've seen the growth of Keller. Friends, I've seen nationally, and I've seen a changing real estate business. And I thought, I'm 60 years old, got a great run. I don't need to work. But what's going to happen to all the people that work for me? I'm up to 30 people now. I have a lot of young people, 20 in their 20s and 30s and 40s. And what's the best place for my team to be for the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years? So I started to watch blogs. So I saw the growth of Keller. And inside, as people would leave and our company shrunk a little bit, 10 years ago, in 2008, I remember Keller had about 70,000 and Prudential had about 80,000. Today, you fast forward, There's 42,000 Berkshire agents, and there's 161,000 Keller agents. There's a reason for that. But again, I don't care about numbers. I care about what's best for the future. So I started watching the blogs of Gary Keller. I'd already known a lot about the company, and I thought, this is unbelievable. He's a fighter. He wants to keep us in the center of the real estate transaction. These last 3-4 years, I've seen, especially last 3 years, I've seen a major Zillow trying to, come in and take over, and Compass and smaller, this Wall Street money. A lot of people are attacking our industry right now. And when I saw the investment that Gary made in the business in artificial intelligence, because that's changing the world. And I thought, this is who I want to be with. It'd be like if someone was trying to take my team out, I would do whatever it took, not for me, for them. They're like my children. So I read up, I watched his 10 blogs, I talked to people, then I met with him. And it's funny, I'm 9 months with the company approximately, and it's just growing. I mean, it is, family and then business, but the systems, and it's so much of why I was so successful for all those years were the same things, but if I had the Keller system, it would have been much faster. So there's so many great things that I'm learning about the company. So I did it for the long-term future of where I believe the business is going to be. I was around before the internet, and people didn't know the effect of the internet. Artificial intelligence is going to affect the world like the internet did, as Gary calls it, the fourth industrial revolution. So that's why I came for the long-term future, not for me financially, not even for my team financially. But we want to be with the best. We're the best. We want to be with the best. We want to partner with the best. And then since I've gone there, and you probably want to ask a question because I'm starting to ramble, but the people I've met, the systems, I'm just growing more and more. I mean, I was just down in Austin, and I'm like a beginner. The more I learn about the Keller system, is unbelievable. It's here. It's a roadmap. I had to learn everything myself. The first company I worked for, there was no agents, no training, no nothing. Then, the Prudential had some training, but nothing like the Keller system. This is a system for success. So I'm out there like, you have to come. You have to come. This is unbelievable. If you want to be successful, this is the entrepreneurial company of the world. Great systems, great leader, great people. And that's what and my team has felt that way. Yeah. They thought I was crazy. When I left, and I'm the golden boy at the other company. I love them. It was heartbreaking for me to leave. I told my team, 72 hours, we'll be moving to Keller Williams. Some were happy, some cried, some were devastated. 3 weeks in, my team said to me, Mike, we thought you were crazy that night you told us. Now we know why you did it. We feel like we left a funeral and are at a wedding. The energy here is unbelievable. The training, the collaboration. So it all sounds hokey because we used to make fun of it. I'm not going there and drinking the Kool-Aid, or I'm not,
well, that was my next question is, what did you hear about KW while you were I was at Prudential prior to, actually probably around the same time you were. And tell me about what you heard or the rumors on the street about KW, because I love hearing it as a leader in the organization. Like, tell me what you hear and let me talk you through that. Yeah. So what did you hear?
No, we heard, it was a Ponzi scheme and it was drinking the Kool-Aid. And know what's funny? Inside, I thought, you know what? I love rah enthusiasm. Like inside, I liked it. And in 2005, I had the opportunity to open up the Keller franchise in Philly, and I chose not to. And the reason was we were still a dominant player, and it seemed okay, but there was no reason, because I'm a grateful guy. I don't need to be greedy or anything. There was no reason. I'm like, that's a good company. We got a great company. We're doing great. I don't need to try to make more money or anything like that. But I think, man, I wish I would have done it then. But you know what? I don't regret it, because I'm doing it now for a reason, and my team is growing. The growth of my agents has been, in the last 9 months, has been more than the last. I have about 11 agents between 10 and 20 years with me. I have assistants with me, 22, 17, 16, 11, 8. The growth in all of them has been unbelievable, more than in any 5-year period combined. And we're continuing to grow. There's training in here every single day. I call them pop-up, like beer pop-up places. It's pop-up training. Every day there's 2 or 3 training classes in our office, the energy, the collaboration. So I'm beyond excited. I feel like I'm new again. And but I have so much to learn. I'm an infant. I'm crawling. I don't remember all the abbreviations. What was that thing we were just at? The
Franchise Systems Orientation, FSO.
What's the FSO? Yeah, I'm just learning all that stuff. But that was great.
Okay, so then can you hear me? Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so then taking that back, what was the most important thing to you in the transition from your prior company to KW to keep your team running and to sell houses? Because we have leaders with all companies that will watch this video, but for our KW leaders, what was the most important thing for you?
The biggest thing is to protect my team, my agents, income from going down. If I left KW, I could take my listings. They don't hold me hostage. It's unbelievable. Right. The other companies, you can lose a fortune. You lose your listings. You have to fight for those. You lose your commissions. You have to fight for those. This company is just like me by attraction. If you want to go. You can have your stuff. We know we're the best. So if you think it's better somewhere else, go ahead. So the biggest thing for me was to make sure I had the money saved for a year for my assistant, but to make sure my agents didn't lose money and to make sure they have a better year this year than next year. So that's the biggest thing. We did spend 3-4 months prepping in advance without my team even knowing, because you can't, it was just a core of us. And then when you leave, you have to do it spur of the moment because they'll shut you down. Very stressful time. So we developed within my team a core 4 or 5 people that we worked on this for months and months to have everything. So when we shut down, we moved out Saturday morning, 9 in the morning. We were in Keller by 11, 12 that afternoon. We put the announcement out there. And man, it was just it was unbelievable. So, but to make sure my agents don't lose money, I have to do what's best for my agents.
Yeah, you have a responsibility if you want to build a big business. And I think what people don't see is they hear misnomers of Kool-Aid and Ponzi scheme and everything that you mentioned. But the reality is that you said a word earlier. It was entrepreneurial. And people don't recognize what that really means. And if we're going to create this business, and you've sold tens of thousands of homes in the past 33 years.
Right,
and the people that know you, trust you, and like you. And if you can make lives bigger, not just for your family, but people around you, there is a responsibility to that. And not everybody wants to build a big team and do this. But if you could share a little bit about the entrepreneurial mindset, or maybe it's the abundance versus scarcity, and that change, and you were already in alignment with an abundant mindset, right? Because we're not a fit for everybody. Right. We know that. So we want to align with a certain type of behavior, and that is an abundant behavior. But the entrepreneurial spirit of our company of support, and instead of going, where'd you get that listing? It's congratulations, you got that listing, right?
Yes. It's what's crazy is it has, my spirit is the same as the spirit of Keller. That's why I said I should have given a long time ago. And I've always given more than I received. The reason for my success, being the dominant player and being very well respected within the real estate community, was very important to me. I didn't want to be the successful agent and people, oh, he's a cutthroat. If you go to any competitor in the marketplace and say, how's Mike McCann? Mike helped me do this. Oh, Mike's great. And these are people that were with my company, not with my company. I helped and helped and helped. And within the company I worked for, I grew that for years and helped and helped and helped. So coming here, there's a million of me. The whole platform is me. It's training, it's supporting, it's helping. I tell people today, if you just want to sell real estate and just go to a place and just sell some real estate, this probably won't be it. But if you want to grow as a person, not just a business, that's what I love as a person, and that's big for me. Our motto has always been family first. I protect my team first. It's family first, no matter what. Then business. It's God found me in business. That's that's how our team is. And that's what the Keller is. But you have so many avenues here and toolbooks. It's not just me, because I was always the rainmaker teaching everybody. We're learning how to have my agents make rain now too. We never had a 33 touch system. There's so many things that we're doing right now that we never did. But the company is exactly the same way that my spirit was and our spirit was. And to me, I look at it as, if you want to grow personally and you want to grow in a business, you cannot find a better company. Not even real estate. This is one of the top best companies to support growth in people. If you don't want to grow, then you shouldn't come here. But if you want to grow, this is the place to be. And I've seen that in 9 months, and change is so tough. I mean, imagine having agents 20 years with me and then I move. I mean, God, that was upsetting, to them. They love it today. And agents 10 years and assistants 20 years. So, and then all my new people. So anyway, I'm rambling.
Yeah, I mean, we had an entire Weichert office merge into our office.
Okay.
And the owner of the company spoke about why it was so important, and it was about them. And the decision was about them. So while they owned a brokerage, you were running a brokerage within a brokerage with your team, right?
Yes.
And it was funny, the people who were our biggest resistors coming are now leaders in our organization. And they have gone and succeeded far above and beyond what was ever possible. And so I always say, it's not just about selling real estate, right? Because I went to my broker and I said, I want to do more. Like, this can't be it. And their answer was, sell more units or increase your average sales price. I'm like, nope, that can't be it. Right? Isn't that an old-fashioned broker answer to everything?
Absolutely.
And I said, no, there has to be more. I'd like to grow into leadership or do something. And that opportunity was never available to me. And so I had to go find, and I researched, and I landed on KW, and it changed my life, and it's changed yours in 9 months. And so
it's just the beginning, because the depth to this company. And there's some of my agents that are going to do some coaching right now. There's other streams of income, which I'm like, no, we're tunnel focused. We're just selling real estate. This has opened up us as people, and because some are better at coaches than selling, And anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, I talk about that a lot. Like, it's hours over dollars until it becomes no hours and all dollars, right? That's owning a business. And what I found at other companies, because I've been with several, I started at a RE/MAX office in high school, that no one talks to you about how to run a business. And I just brought over the #1 agent from RE/MAX in our market area where we're launching. And I said, let's get your income statement, your balance sheet, and your P&L. Right? So how has that changed your perspective on what real estate really is? Because this is a business, right? We're not in it. And I tell agents all the time that are like losing money and not showing their value, you should just go ahead and change your domain name to .org, because you're running a charity, right? And so coming over, we teach you to run a business, and we have business conversations and net profit and those types of conversations. How has that changed your world?
It's changing, because I'm guilty as charged, believe it or not, money.org. Meaning, all I care, I make a great living, and that's always, but we were not running it like a business. We are now running it like a business. Let's do those ads here. Let's do this. Let's do that. Like, I spent money, like, almost, I would give my checks and know that I was making money at the end of the year to taxes, but I was not tracking anything. Zero. Just spending money. Again, I'm still making very good living. I wasn't wasting it. But I didn't know if this was working or that. So we're totally starting to run it like a business. I had not run it like a business, just because I want everybody to do well. So I'll be like, okay, let's do this. Let's do this ad. Let's do this thing. Let's do this TV show. I would just spend money like crazy. And my goal is to trim that even more. And my real big goal with Command and artificial intelligence is to get off of, and I'll still admit it, I'm still an addict to Realtor.com and Zillow. And that's my goal, is to get, because I got so comfortable, those leads coming in pretty easily, even though the quality of those leads has diminished and how much I actually make from those. So my goal with using the Keller systems, because there's many top agents in here that aren't spending anything on those. And that's my goal. I'm feeding the beast that wants to take us away.
You are.
And that's terrible. And I'll admit it. Okay, I have to admit it. I'm so admit to that addiction, but I'm working on getting that down big time. We're doing our first.
We can reduce addiction. It does take time. So I give a lot of grace for it. We had a that came in the first month, we flashed $7,000 off his spending. So right there, we just net profited him $7,000 more that he didn't have. And that's what people aren't doing a technology audit. They're not doing a financial audit on their business because it's not about gross, it's about net, right? And all we get awarded for in the real estate community is gross.
Yeah.
Well, what is that really doing? Because there's a lot of broke realtors out there. And so I have a passion to teach people to be a business owner and spend purposefully and get a good return on their investment. And so that's one system that people don't understand, an unexpected plus that they get at KW that we don't talk about enough, I find.
I've already saved some money, believe me. I will be able to save hundreds of thousands of dollars through the KW system. There's no that. And we started an LLC now, you know, like we're doing our, I know, it's so crazy. I always tell people, I'm just a sales guy. Like, I'm not a bit, Mike, you own a business. I'm like, yeah, but I'm just really a sales guy. Now I'm running it like a business, but I'm not treating it like a business because it's still family first. And I invest what I have to, but I always did make money. It's the one thing I would never, I could care less about being number one or being, I am competitive, and if I'm on a listing with you, I'm going to get it. But being number one was never a goal of mine. What was a goal of mine was to provide for my family, and then provide for my team, and then make sure my team, as I always say, 1 and 1 is 3. That together we're much better than we are individually. You know, instead of 1 and 1 doesn't add up to 2, but it adds up to 3. And that, so I really I want everybody to continue to grow. If you stifle growth, they're going to go somewhere else. And I do try to hire quality people that have our same values, again, family, hard work, and personal growth, loving, caring people, but they have fire. They want to make a living. They want to make a difference in people's life. I love the impact that I make in people's lives. I'll go
impact. Yeah, no, impact is it's a very important word, and you have to commit to it, right? To create an impact, that is a commitment. And so let me ask you, just pivoting a little bit, when we're out there in talking about KW, because I don't believe in chasing. I have a phrase that a leader in my organization taught me: those you force against their will be of the same opinion still.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, and I believe in the law of attraction, and our company is growing, like you mentioned, rapidly, and the paradigm that has shifted with it. So what did we not do right to get your attention sooner?
It's funny. So I'm a wall of attraction too. Like I don't call people and say, "Will you list your house with me?" Or "Will you buy?" Like I like people to come to me. So why? It really was the change in the industry is really what made me say, over the last, I'd say 7 or 8 years, when I probably get 10 or 20 calls a month, people that want to join my team, whether it's new agents or experienced agents. So I never hire anybody. Once every couple of years, I'll hire somebody. But I always say, you need to interview, as working with Berkshire, you need to interview Berkshire, but you need to interview Coldwell Banker, it's the other big player in the market, and you need to interview Keller Williams. And all the young people that were like 24 to 35, I say, if I was a brand, and I said this while I was at the other company, if I were a brand new agent, the most entrepreneurial company is Keller Williams. But yet I wasn't prepared to leave because I loved my owners and they loved me. My success was not because of them. We succeeded together, but I allowed, they put me in an environment that allowed me to succeed. They didn't break my chops. They let me run my business. So they were great. When I get all kinds of crazy offers from real estate companies, I would just say, listen, I don't want to say the way I said it the other day, but listen, I love my wife. I'm not leaving my wife. And that was my company. That's what I used to say. But these last 2-3 years, when I saw this change with the attack on our industry, the Wall Street money, the Zillows, the investors, I thought, I have to do something. I don't want to be Sears and Roebuck. You know, when I was a kid, Sears and Roebuck, you got that Christmas catalog. It was the only game in town. They just went bankrupt. And that's what the old school brokerages to me are. We will grow because we're entrepreneurial. We have many different streams of revenue. We have the best systems. We have a leader who has invested freaking $1 billion in technology so we control it. We're not paying anybody. And that's who I want to be with. And I know, and I said when I first left, oh, you're crazy. I said, listen, if I made a mistake, then I'll make a mistake. My decisions in my career have always led me upward, never led me downward. And then I feel like I'm kissing the boss's butt or whatever to tell her butt, because I'm more grateful now than even when I left. Like, as I learn more, it's like, wow, this is us. And I'm watching my agents grow, my assistants grow. So it's so far the best move in the whole world for my team, personally and professionally. And the more I'm learning about it, the better more it is.
And I think what we forget is we take it for granted. I was with KW, I left and came back. And so overall, I've been with them 17 years. So I forget how good I have it, right? I forget.
There's no other company like it. None. Zero. Okay.
Yeah, and I forget that. And when I just had a big team come over, and what we've realized is the availability of leaders and the access to conversations and relationships is like none other in our company, right? I can email Gary, I can email Josh, I can ask questions, and that doesn't happen. And so people, when they decide to make a move, they get scared that they're going to be alone or they're doing it. And it's very scary, but just getting on the other side of it. And so my job is to keep an agent in business, right? You said you were out at 10 and in by 12. Right? When you were transitioning, because your team has to go be able to sell a house, or you have to be able to go list a house. And that is a key process of what has to happen well. And so share with what it's like to be in relationship with top leaders in the company, almost probably maybe on a daily basis if you chose, because that access didn't happen at your prior company with the top people at Berkshire Hathaway and things like that, to really care and share about how to keep you in the transaction. Because I think most realtors have their head in the sand about what's happening. I find it in my market. I'm frustrated. I'm mad. I'm angry. Like, wake up, everybody, because these people are not our friends. They are here to take you out, and be careful what you're funding. And you know it. And I know it. We just discussed it. Yes. But share a little bit about what that's been like to have the support from the high up of leading you and guiding you and that relationship.
Yeah. The one thing, being an entrepreneur and being a businessman, I never really use the resources from within. I would have access to the upper echelons of Berkshire, the owners and all that stuff. I never really needed it, because in my office, we were more like the whole management team. When there was issues with all the agents, they came to me, because but what I found the difference here is everybody here is willing to share. So there's top agents here. And yes, if I needed to reach out to, I had 3,000 to 4,000 private Facebook messages when I joined Keller. That is insane. I have so many people, whatever you need. But on a day-to-day basis, this is what I want to talk about. At our market center, on a day-to-day basis, there is probably at least 2 different training classes a day, sometimes 3, an hour on listings, an hour on social media, an hour, there's so much growth going on. Yesterday we were one at our smaller office. We were one there on long-term wealth and building a long-term team. So there's so much access. And then when you're done that hour meeting, you're with other people that are in your same shoes, and you're with other people that are much older like me, that experience you can network. And that's what I'm seeing. And then that you have this big support team behind you. But they've come down. We've gone to Austin, and they've come down here. Bobby Moats and Josh Team and all them. We've spoken to them. But on a day-to-day basis, the top agents are sharing with the new agents, the middle agents, and all these training classes are bringing everybody together. And that's why the energy is so good. But I will tell my team, listen, training is great and we need to become the most educated. We still have to make sure we're doing our money-making activities. We can't, like, I look at my appointments and I have so many meeting here. I'm going to do this meeting. I want to do that meeting. I have to make sure I'm still out listing and selling too. So,
Right.
like, I wish I could stop for a year and just learn everything. Like it was a college, but you have to learn and implement. But the resources here and the people that want to grow here, that's what's encouraging all of us.
Yeah, and imagine you have 30 years or 33 years of data for all the homes you sold at your fingertips that nobody else has, right? How that's going to set you apart even further. Like we joke, there is no catch up, but there is no catch up. We did some numbers yesterday across from our technology director pulled, and it would take, let's say, Compass 33 years at the pace they're going to gather as much data that we already have on agents and transactions, and using our platform of the data we're keeping. Because I've had other companies and MLSs ask, well, can we just do an agreement and share with you? And I'm like, well, no. And they said, why not? And I said, well, because it's what makes our agents better, is we're arming our agents with each other's data and knowledge to make everybody better. And it's so funny. I find so many people turning their heads away from understanding the technology conversation, yet they're willing to use Netflix and not think twice, and Netflix is telling them what to do, right? So somehow they trust Netflix, but they're not trusting their own fellow realtors, because this isn't about the technology fight we're in isn't about the other brokerages. It's about the venture capitalist funded tech companies. And I say, save the realtor. Like that's my hashtag, save the realtor. And I'm challenged by other realtors not waking up to understand it's not that we're fighting against each other, because we're not. We are in this as like brothers in arms together. And until we wake up and arm ourselves with the most information to make us better to stay in the transaction.
Absolutely. And that's what, when I'm speaking at general meetings for the board or whatever, I tell everybody, none of you are my competition. The more professional you get, that helps me, because nothing like two professional realtors. So, unfortunately, the barrier, the getting in real estate is very easy. People can get in, and that's why they come and go. It's too easy to get in. And when you have agents that aren't professional, aren't responsive, aren't knowledgeable, it clogs the system up. Then your customers get upset. So I always love coaching other agents and helping other agents so we become professional. But if you're a student of real estate and you look around, there's not a chance that you would pick any other company than Keller Williams. And the reality of it is that you have the old school brokerages. I'm not going to work for some of these discount. No good agent's going to work for a discount brokerage at a long time. And this Compass thing is a flash. I would never work for a non-realtor. I would never work for somebody who's just spending money to get in the business. That's a shiny object, the flash in the pan. The systems and what I love about Gary, he's like me. He talks right out of the heart. He talks, we had tough times in the company and we adjusted this and we did that and there was this and he just talks. And we listened to him for 4 days at family reunion. It was unbelievable. It was like he was talking to me, yet he's talking to thousands of people. But this company's been through all that stuff, and it is the realtor fighting for the realtors. And no matter what, the realtor has to be involved in the business. There will always be, but there's going to probably be less realtors involved in the business. And that's why it's more important to be with the most dominant player with the best systems. But I know no company, no computer is going to do what I do for my clients, because my clients need me, they love me, and I guide them, help them, and direct them. So that when the internet came in, people thought after a while we were going to go away, just like the travel service did, the travel agents did. I said, there's no way we're going away, and I don't care. And then the customer got all the information, and now they're more likely to use a realtor than before the internet. And it's easier for us because now they've already weeded out. They don't look at as many properties. It's easier. So this business is going to, there's attacks from us, but it's why it's more important. Nobody's doing what Keller is doing, or I would be there, or I would start my own. But this system is so much deeper than I ever thought. That's what I'm most. So I watched with envy, quiet envy, as I saw Keller growing over the last 5, 6, 7, 8 years, especially. And then but I wasn't ready to go. Then the changing of the industry. And then I said, this is where I have to be. If I want my team to survive the next 30 years, this is where I have to be.
Yeah.
And now I'm here.
I find how you treat people is how you will get in return, right? Treat people as you want to be treated. And you did not have the most amazing exit because, frankly, you were shorted some income, right? I mean, we talked about that a little bit. And so now you have a little makeup to do, and you're doing it, and you're going to come out on top. But what I understand with a lot of old-fashioned brokerages is they don't have a capped revenue system, and they don't create this opportunity for you to have a fixed cost and keep growing and things like that. That if you want to grow and shrink, it's a non-obligation, really. If you don't sell, you don't owe. And the plus side is the financial aspect of it on the plus side. And when I'm talking and meeting with top brokers around town, I find a lot of them at like the 5 to 7 million mark. They say, "Oh, Karen, I think I'm just going to go open my own brokerage," right? Because you should have. Like my top agents could easily have their own brokerage. They do 80. I mean, I have several that do 60, 80, 100 million pretty easily, and so they want to start their own brokerage. Why didn't you just start your own brokerage?
Because you need to learn who you are, and there's sales and there's details. And I'm not I love to sell. I love being out. I love growing people. I don't want this massive company. And I was interviewing for franchises back in like 93 or 4. And before I went to Prudential, I think it was 93. And I interviewed a bunch of brokers because I thought, I am going to be a franchise. So I was a top agent. And then I interviewed, and I met this one guy. And he said, Mike, he said, he had 2 Coldwell Banker brokerages. He said, Mike, he said, and that was when, initially commissions were 50-50. And then it was like 93 where Prudential came into our marketplace and they were trying to recruit me. And they said, we'll give you 70%, maybe 75% of the commission. So I'm interviewing this old time broker. And he said, Mike, if I had to do it over again, unless you want to become a mega broker, if I could go work for somebody, build a company within a company and get 70 or 75% of my commission, I would do it in a heartbeat. He said, because you love sales, you're going to be sitting looking at books and looking at this and looking at. So I didn't want a brokerage. Yet in here, what's funny, not funny, but in here, there's ways to become a business owner and still do what I love and yet have other partners and invest in this business. Like the systems are right there. I saw it at that class for 3 days. I'm going to read that book like 5 times. I mean, there's ways that I can have other income besides me just selling and from my team without me doing them. So there's not a remote chance I would ever compete in this market on my own. Could I be one? Absolutely. I could be one. Would I make as much money? Absolutely not. Would I have the resources for my people? Absolutely not. It's about, and I didn't need for money because I don't need money. I left for the growth of where I feel the industry's going to be and the growth of my people. And again,
and I can't wait to see where they go because ours that came over with that Weichert merger, they're team leaders, they're productivity coaches, they have profit share. Like they are receiving so much more than they could have ever expected, and that's what gives me goosebumps.
One second, real quick. There's 17 agents on my team. 16 of us are doing bold. I'm doing bold. So we're just sitting we had the office meeting, which we all go to. And that's great energy. Jeremy and Noah, our team people here are great. And my income went up 25%. Mine went up 100%. And I'm like, guys, we're doing bold. Mike, you've been doing it 30 years. Believe it, I needed more probably. The newer agents. So 16 of my 17 agents are doing bold.
So I know.
So could you imagine if everybody's business goes up 25%? Maybe it's going to go up 50%. Maybe it'll go up 100%. So we're loving it.
Yeah, we had an agent, our number one agent, just so you know, and I know you're competitive, so don't pretend you're not. Our number one agent has taken it 13 or 14 times. So
unbelievable.
Yeah, and there's a reason, right? There is a reason why she's taken it that many times. So what I hear the after benefit of coming over is people don't, like my husband had to go to family reunion with me in 13. He said, I need to understand why you love this company so much. Because honestly, when he met me, I was at Coldwell Banker, full disclosure. And And I brought him with me, and he's like, I get it, right? He had to get it. He's in a totally different industry, and it was a way for me to include him so he could see it, and he understood. And so what I don't think people are able to verbalize, because I have people all the time like, I didn't know it was this amazing. Like, I had no idea this is what KW was, is what it's done for you personally and how you go home at the end of the day.
It's funny. It's maybe, you know how you started dating your husband, it's new. You remember how that felt? Okay. Well, that's how I am in real estate today. And it's so real. And everybody on my team knows that, because I'm always real. And I see that in other people. So it's just giving us a whole nother energy and learning. We're going to continue to learn in this world. It's not like there's so many agents that other companies they got their license and that was it. This is inspiring. And I love the live big, live big. The one thing that freaked me out with Gary is dream your biggest and then double it. I'm like, oh no, oh my God, that's a great challenge. But living the life. We're meeting more as a team. Our energy's way better as a team. We're meeting more as a company. We're doing more things together. We're having our first, 30 years in the business, a team since 1996 was my first buyer's agent. I'm having my first team event. I never even had a team event. So we're having 400 people in October we're in downtown Philadelphia, historic Philadelphia, by City of Liberty Bell and birthplace of America. So it's brick row houses built in the 1700s and 1800s. That's my environment. I'm in the city environment. But there's a school that had closed up that is now all kinds of artist places, and there's a rooftop deck with a big skyline view. So we're having music and a whole event for 400 people there. That's my first team. Can you believe that after all these years, I've never had a team event?
I'm proud of you. I think it's awesome. I mean, it's so inspiring to see the renewal and the re-energy and bringing it. And you're playing big, right? You're going to play at 110%. Before we open it up for questions, so people have questions, okay. We're going to open it up a little bit. My last question is, what have I not asked you that I should have?
If anybody's in real estate and they want to grow as a human being and they want to grow in a business, I just asked them, did you ever hear of that company called Nike? Did you ever hear of Nike?
We were compared to Nike today, actually, with breaking Facebook on the number of ads. So that's
really,
awesome.
Really?
Yeah.
So what's their slogan?
Just do it.
Just do it. I'm telling you, that's the best thing. So I wish I would have done it in 2005. I had the chance to have them broken. But you know what? There was a reason why it didn't happen. And right now I tell you, I tell my team, my aides, anybody I meet, I am so glad. Well, let me back up. I'm a grateful guy. I always tell people I'm so glad to be alive. This day and age in America and at this time in the world, I am so glad to join Keller in this day and age of the real estate business and to be with Keller, because this is who needs to battle the forces that we are. And there's the tools. If you come, like when I had nothing, because I came from nothing, when I had nothing, if someone handed me this Keller book and said, you do this for the next 5 years and you'll be a millionaire, I would have done anything. That will happen if that's what you do. What other opportunity? Who else can give you that opportunity? I mean, we do better than like anybody. So yeah. You have that up, but if you're just like, I always say, if you're a clock watcher or you don't like to work, it's not your business. You have to love people. You have to want to grow as a person, and you want to be successful. This is the only tool. And if you're in real estate, this is what this is where it should be. So that's the one thing. So it's about life. So it's about life, and it's about freedom. Nobody can lay me off. The market can soften. So what? People leave the business. They still need me. I've been through 3 up and down turns, and my income is still always going up. So I look forward to the next being the key player, the key company, next 10, 20 years, and growing people. I have lines of people that are meeting with, why did I come to Keller? About 20 people have followed me. I was not allowed to solicit, so I never solicited, but I wouldn't solicit anybody anyway. But now I have to watch them probably 4 or 5 meetings a week with top agents, new agents. One just left, a new agent. on why I went to Keller and why I'm here or where to go. And if it wasn't the best for them, I would tell them. If it wasn't the best for my team, I wouldn't be here. And I'm a slow and steady guy. So even though I didn't run a business, I'm always like, I don't jump at things. I always like look at things. So when I'm ready to do it, it's like when I sell, I have to believe in it. And but my belief in this has exceeded. It's like, it has exceeded. It's like my wife. I loved her. She's beautiful. But my love and my gratitude for her has exceeded over the years. That's what's happening to me with Keller.
Yeah, it's so fun. And I think people are surprised. Like, I know you were nice when I came over, but everybody's still so nice, right? And that's hilarious. I'm like, well, yeah, this is who we are. Like, it's authentic people being their authentic selves. Like it is. And if you're not, then we're not a fit for you. And that's totally okay too. We're not for everybody. And I get insulated. I get very protective of our culture, and I'm very quick to get out of business with people who aren't a right fit too. So that's a great place to be in, right? And you're in the same place with your team.
Yes.
All right. So I know, I think Kim Zaroff had a question. If anyone has a question, now is the time to ask. We're going to take a few minutes. So unmute yourself if you have a question and go ahead.
Awesome. Thanks, Karen. So Mike, I have a question for you. I'm a team leader in Maryland, and my question for you is, because as leaders, we're always trying to raise our game in creating an amazing Disney-like consumer experience for agents like yourself that transition over. And so my question for you is, what was the wow factor that the KW Philly office did for you, and or what could have been done different to make it a smoother transition? Because obviously you brought over a ton of active listings and with your multiple agents. So what happened during that transition period that just made it a wow experience?
That's a great question. I had 215 active listings, 100 pending transactions.
Oh my gosh.
Yes, and that's what I had. So what, again, it was me deciding this is what I had to do. And there were a couple KW options. I chose the brokerage where I am because it's funny. I always say at Berkshire, I was middle-aged. At this company, I'm the oldest person in the building right now. It's unbelievable. But I can still do one-handed push-ups, although I just got in a motorcycle accident, so I'm a little bruised up right now. Anyway, so the energy at this company and the growth of the person, the market center head person or whatever you call it. So I watched his success grow, and I'd watched people that came to his company grow. And I thought, that's who I want to grow with. I had concerns because the office was smaller. And he said, Mike, you bring your team, we grow, we'll expand the space because I don't need big fancy stuff, but I need space. So he actually gave me his office, and we have good space. We are expanding. We have a great expansion that's under construction for a year, so I can bring on way more people that can grow because we're pretty much filled to capacity. So going with a successful person who has grown successful people, who's 20 years younger than me, and only in the business, I don't know, 12 or 13 years, but that's fine with me. And I'm teaching him a lot because he's more of a business guy, and he's a great guy, and I'm more of a lover, reputation builder, but then when we decided to make the move, the support that we got right from prior to moving to when we moved over was really important. And they were in here helping us and learning .loop because we'd use DocuSign and all this stuff. So they literally helped carry us, and we had 3-4 people for about a month helping us transition. So that was a big factor because, man, not having my listings, not having any of that stuff, that was a tough 2 months for me. But they helped us big time. So the support from the company in that transition was so important. Did I answer that, or is there? I lost her.
Kim, I unmuted you in case you have a follow-up.
Yeah, so I was just looking for the specifics of how they best helped you, whether it be, did they do listing paperwork for you? Did they create marketing stuff for you to send out to your database right away?
They literally came to the office and helped us move our stuff out. I'm not walking in that office. So they literally moved us. They literally helped us set up. They had computer people set up. Again, we're moving 25 people at that time. So they literally did. Then they'd already had all the information because over the months they started sending out dot loop contracts to our people. Well, notification. So I had one or two support assistants and several of them. So they literally were engaged in that. And then they started on Monday, when everybody came in, they started to train our agents. And believe me, going from DocuSign and the dot loop was a big transition for us. So it was a lot. So they literally had 3 or 4 people that were at our beck and call, but that would spend hours. They were giving us training classes. So it was a big change. Our systems were shut down. I mean, the moment you give notice, man, they shut you down. So we'd already gathered. They helped us gather all our contacts and our emails. All the contracts were ready and stuff.
I have a question
I was
around
getting
that
jerked
too.
around, and so the physical support, they helped carry me over here because
Awesome. Thank you so
I have
much.
to answer to 215 people.
How did that go? How did your sellers take it? Because people are so afraid of, I can't move. I have my listings and my sellers. I'm like, that's an easy conversation.
Yeah. Everyone wanted to come. Every pending one wanted to come. I don't think I lost anything, but I got plugged around. It took about a month for me to get my listings back. And that's at a big fee. And then the pending transactions, that's at a big fee. I had to negotiate that. So it is financial, but again, I invested in the future. Okay, so what am I going to be? Held hostage in prison because I don't want to lose X amount of money? But where are we going to be, 10, 20 years from now? So that's it's an investment in my future. That was what I took that hit as. And the other people did here, the other guy before me came, he lost money and he doubled his money the first full year here. And that's what I'm going to do. I will double my money and I will win now more than ever because you don't work at somewhere 27 years. Usually you at least get a gold watch when you retire, So as much as I love them, that is heartbreaking to me. If I left here tomorrow, I'm never leaving, don't worry. But if I ever left here tomorrow, they would give me everything. And that's attraction. But it's definitely stressful. I was weak because I'm all about money-making activities, be out on the street, meeting your clients. So I was weak for the first month, believe me, but their support supported me. And then my team stepped up and the growth from those tough times. Because usually I'm the carrying everything. I'm the rainmaker. I'm the enthusiastic guy. I'm the supporter. I'm the confidence. They carried me because I was like, oh my God. Anyway.
Well, I'll never understand old-fashioned brokerages holding listings hostage from an agent who earned the business, right? That is not our model. That's not our alignment. And it doesn't serve anybody because I know you'll never go back to that company because how you treat people when they leave.
If this company hadn't worked out, I would never go back there now, which is anyway.
Yeah, and so our leadership, I talked to them a lot about that, like how you treat people on an exit matters because if you want to be in business with them and they want to go try it, let them go. Let them go try it. And if you treat them with respect, it pains me to hear that people get injured financially and reputation and with their clients from business that they earned. And we are unlike any other company for that matter. So I'd love to hear.
I tell people real quick, one second. I tell people do the Ben Franklin. Ben Franklin's a big Philadelphia. Pluses and minuses. Really what? Yeah. Oh, this one's going to give me this and this one. That's going to go away. I was offered crazy deals over the years. I'm like, no, a relationship has to be equal. It can't be. And if you look at it, there's no comparison to what you can get at Keller for the long-term future in the multiple business opportunities, the plans, and the leadership versus any other company.
Yeah.
Remotely close.
Sarah, did you have a question?
I'm sorry.
Yeah. Mike, how has your family life been affected by your renewed energy?
Fantastic. So I have my one who was an assistant. My daughter's been with me 9 years. She has now become an operations manager.
Oh, awesome.
She has grown personally. She's 26 years old, 27 years old. She's been with me for 9 years. Operation manager, and she has grown as a human being, unbelievable. She's the rock. My youngest daughter is the rock. It's unbelievable. My son is a sales guy. He's been with me 8 years, and he is off the charts. He loved it. he was one of the ones that wanted me to go to the updated version of real estate, you know what I mean, for years, because many of his friends had worked at Keller and saw that. My wife, she's now the CEO, man. She's like the LLC, you know, she's paying the bills and she's doing, so we have a core meeting that we meet every 3 weeks. We're meeting as a core meeting. We're doing a branding company now. So my family life's been great. Although when I get home at night, come home, unload, I make my espresso, eat my dinner with my wife. It's about 8 o'clock. She's already eaten. Then we watch Netflix. We don't talk about real estate. When we wake up in the morning, we have coffee together for about 45 minutes. We don't talk about real estate. But then after that, we're real estate, you know. So the family is like this. And it's so exciting for them. That's a benefit. Yes. Big time. Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you for your time.
And that's a great question, because early in my career, when I was really starting to succeed, I always said, I don't want to be this successful, rich guy whose family doesn't know him, who's divorced, and people who hate him. I said, no, I want to have the best reputation in the marketplace, and I want to have a beautiful family. And so I always prioritized going to my kids' events and all that stuff. Even though I'm a very hard worker, I take my schedule and block out soccer, football, basketball, cheerleading, you know, school events, whatever it was, family first. And that's how my team is. So but we're a family now. Everybody except for one I have 3 children. 2 are here and my wife is here.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Thank you.
Great question.
Right.
Great question.
Hey, Mike, I want to thank you for your generosity. I want to thank you for being a part of our family. I didn't know how much we were missing you until you showed up. So we're really grateful for you.
You know what's great? I love talking to people, everybody here, because I can get so much from everybody. So I'm sorry I've talked all this, but when I go to our meetings and I meet people, I like new agents that are 5, 6 years. I'm like, wow, that is great. Oh my God. And I can learn from them. I can learn from new. There's so much that I have to learn, because my way was just hard knocks, like old school reputation, but now there's systems and entrepreneurial people. So I respect, it's just unbelievable. Anyway, sorry.
Oh, you're good. I'm happy to do this again with you, because I feed off your energy. I love that you're part of us, and I'm really grateful for your time today. So this won't
Family
be
reunion. Family reunion. We're all going to family reunion. I want to bring a big team this time. Okay, thank you so much.
Thanks,
Thank
everybody.
you.
Okay.